Let's put together another card from the March class by mail, and that's the class with all the butterflies that are just so beautiful. So in this kit, you're going to have a piece of the heavyweight basic white cardstock, and it's the standard that I use, 8.5 by 5.5, and you're going to go ahead and fold that in half. Get my bone folder just to give that a nice crease. Okay, so that's folded in half. And then you have a piece of the, not the heavyweight, the regular basic white cardstock that I ran through this embossing folder. I just love this one. This is the Bricks embossing folder, and it's just, I just think it's so cool because some of them are deeper embossed than some of the other bricks, and so I just think it's a really cool look. So you have that piece that's going to go right on the front. Then you have a die cut piece that I stamped, My Thoughts Are With You. I thought, you know, butterflies are just great for sympathy cards, and whether someone's, you know, not feeling well or going through a challenging time, or maybe they've lost someone, I thought this word was really really applicable for many different situations. So My Thoughts Are With You, and that came from the Prized Peony set. So here's the word stamp right here. This is a really beautiful set with matching dies, and I really need to do a video using these matching dies because it's not as intuitive. When you see all the pieces, they kind of slip inside each other, and it's very cool, but I need to do an example with that at some point. Okay, then you have a detailed butterfly that I die cut from the bundle. So this is the one that this whole kit is really focused around, this Butterfly Brilliance bundle, and this is one of the detailed dies from that set that I used to die cut this shimmer cardstock. So you might have some little pieces. I did run it real quick with the little tool to get all the little pieces out, but I know there's going to be some still in there, so you'll have to just poke some of those pieces out. Then you have this extra butterfly. Now for this class, I used one sheet of the designer series paper. These were 6x6 sheets, and it cut out 6 butterflies with that one die. Just ran the whole thing through. So this really was an extra one from that set of 6. So I just put it in here in case you wanted to do a couple of different things, and I'll show you some options with that. Then you have a 3x3 square of designer series paper and a piece of basic white cardstock that you're wondering what the heck am I doing with that? Well, what you're gonna do is, this is gonna be the backing for this piece of designer series paper, and if you want, you can just put it down solid like this and then just trim the excess basic white cardstock away, or you can do what I had intended for this, which I've already put this together, so I won't be going through it in this video, but I just did something a little different where I just cut this piece apart. So I just cut it into different pieces, and that's why this piece of basic white cardstock is longer than your designer series paper piece, because depending on how many slices you make in your paper will depend how much room you need. So your options are just to keep it solid like this, or you can do this technique where I just made different cuts in the paper and then glued them down one at a time. And just each time I glued them down, I just made sure, you know, this border was the same on each end, and then I just kept a kind of a similar but very thin border in between them that's showing the white background, so that you get that look. You can also do something else. And I wanted to show you that I don't have I don't have a pair of long scissors here. Long scissors work a lot better, but you can also do something where you just cut this into unique shapes, okay? So you can just hand cut this. So it's nothing fancy. And maybe I'll go a little bit more dramatic here. Okay. And then you just start to build it. So try to keep that in order. That would be helpful. I think I've got this right. I think that's right. Okay. And so then let's go ahead and build this. So I'm going to use this the multi liquid glue just because it's easy for this kind of odd shape. Hopefully that was my first one. So you're going to place it down. And the other thing about the liquid glue is it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So once you get it down, you can move it into place. Okay, so there's your first one. Go ahead and put some adhesive on this. And I like this glue too because it really is pretty strong. And you choose how thick you want that border between each piece and just try to keep it even if you can. Okay, so I'm just slowly building this up. And hopefully I've kept these all in order. Really just wanted to show you a different way to use some of your papers and get a unique look. And then the final piece. Okay, and then you can use your paper trimmer or just come in with your scissors and try and just follow that line. It does work better with a pair of scissors that have a longer cutting blade just because you can make one very smooth and clean cut. But so here's another option. So there are two different ways you can do this background piece. And it's going to go on here with your butterfly. Okay? All right, so let's start to put some of this together. Oh, before we do that, let me just share with you. Here are the cuts I did for this piece. So my first cut was at 1/4 inch. Then after the 1/4 inch, then I did 3/8 of an inch. Okay, then with what was remaining, I did 1/2 inch. So this whole piece here is 1/4. This whole piece here is 3/8 of an inch wide. This is 1/2 an inch. This is 5/8 of an inch. And then that left me with a 1 1/4 inch piece at the bottom. So if you'd like to take a screenshot, if you want to do this same design and cut, these are the measurements for each cut. Okay. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. I don't think I need my liquid glue anymore. Pull out my Stampin' Seal. Get my adhesive on the back of this panel. Make sure I've got my card going the right direction before I start building too much of it. Place that down, that embossed piece. Love that. I think I mentioned in a previous class, whenever you've got some white space or you just need something extra, an embossing folder really does the trick. Okay, now when I place, this is going to go around, right around that spot. And you can do this however you want. You could have this down here and popped up. You can place it off to the side, really just whatever you like. I'm gonna tuck mine underneath so that it's just kind of sticking out the bottom like that. It's just a little something different. So I'm gonna put adhesive on the top of this piece here and then just get it centered. Like so on this piece. All right, so that's now gonna go on my card like that. So I'll go ahead and put that down, and I'm not popping any of this up, so it's just going down flat. I like to use a little extra. In fact, I'll get a little bit more down here when I'm attaching something to an embossed piece, just to make sure it sticks really well. So now I'll just place this down like so on the front of this card. And then the last piece is putting our butterfly on. So this one I'm gonna just put adhesive on the center of the body of the butterfly so that the wings can be loose. And you can, you know, you can give your wings a little bit of movement. Just be very careful with this because it's a very detailed die cut to start with. Some of those joining pieces are very thin, so be careful to try not to rip it, or you'll have to do some constructive surgery on it if you do tear any of it. But you can give the wings a little bit of curve to them. But because there's not a whole lot, I mean, you could get a little bit of mounting tape, dimensionals, like slice your dimensionals thin and put a little bit on these thicker pieces, but I think I'm gonna just go ahead and just place the body down. So let's see, I think I will use glue dots. Yes, I was gonna use tear and tape, but the body's a little bit thin for that. So I'm gonna try and get maybe 3 glue dots on here. There's 1, 2, and 1 more by the head. There, 3. Okay. And then I'm gonna center this. On this piece, just like that. And those glue dots will hold really well. And there you have your butterfly. Now you have this extra piece, and it's really up to you if you want to have it. You can add it to the side like this, on, you know, either down here at the bottom like this. You can add it to the center of this butterfly if you like that look, or you can add it on the inside of your card. So it's really just an extra piece that you can choose where you want to put it. I was trying to really keep the front, for me, I was trying to keep this very simple and very clean. And so I will probably put it on the inside. I may even put it on the envelope. So, but that's the finished product for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.